Hey there, Freaky family. How you doing tonight? Hope you're good, because we got an excellent set of videos for you tonight. Once again, exploring creepy and paranormal TikToks. And without further ado, let's get to those videos.
A couple of things about space. Here's Earth. What we call space, I'm an astrophysicist, so I get to say this. If this were the actual size of Earth, do you know where Mars would be? It would be a mile away. You know where the moon would be? It would be in the next room 30 feet away. Do you know where the orbiting International Space Station is and where the Hubble telescope is? It's 1 centimeter above Earth's surface. That's what everybody is calling space.
You think that we're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour and we don't feel it, and we're changing, we're changing directions? How is that possible?
The Earth goes around the sun in how long? How long does it take?
A year.
A year, right? So why don't you go ahead and get in a car and do a 360 turn and make it take a year? Are you gonna feel that?
Dave, that's not a
Let's break it down. 360 degrees, 365 days, that's about a degree a year, right? Why don't you get in a car and drive for 24 hours, and over 24 hours, veer by 1 degree? Are you gonna feel that?
That would be equivalent to this. People say, I'm just trying to think of the
Can I blow your mind right now? Okay. If the center of the Earth is hot, why is the bottom of the ocean cold? Right, let that sink in. So you're closer to the source of the Earth's heat, but the water is colder. It doesn't make sense. So Chris and I were talking about this because we were flying to see our sister last summer, and we're going over the ocean. And I said, make it make sense, Chris. Scientists expect us to believe that the center of the Earth is 100% pure lava, which is liquid fire. You can look this up. So shouldn't the bottom of the ocean be boiling water? Well, it's not. It's cold water. So there's only one explanation for this. There's only one explanation. And that is that the center of the Earth is actually frozen. And if this is a hard thing to believe, you just have to look to the evidence. And who gives us the evidence? The same scientists that try to tell us that the center of the Earth is hot. Okay, so if you really want to go down this rabbit hole with me, ask yourself why 50% of scientists say that the dinosaurs were killed by the Ice Age, and the other 50% say it was because of volcanic eruptions. Well, if the center of the Earth is frozen, what comes out of a volcano? I think you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I don't know, fam. I think I'm going to call cap on that, because I just can't see volcanoes spewing out ice. I don't know. Then again, maybe I'm just not understanding it or something. But as far as space goes, yeah, I think we know very little about it. Less than what we're saying we do anyways. What's your opinion on space? Or the ocean for that matter? Leave it down in the comments. Here's the next video.
This is the type of question people aren't allowed to ask.
Riddle me this. Riddle me this. If Earth is a third rock from the sun, that means Mercury and Venus are in between us and the sun. Why don't we have Mercury and Venus solar eclipses? Why the fuck not? Not even a sliver, like it never blocks out any of the sun. Those two planets which are in between us and the sun? Make that make sense. It doesn't make sense. Like, that's an unanswerable question, and I doubt this fucking goes viral, because this is the type of question that they don't want fucking people asking, right? Like, riddle me this shit. Who's got a good answer for that?
This is everything that can go wrong on Mount Everest Summit Day.
Oh no, that's not good.
Despite knowing the risks, every climber will begin their summit attempt anywhere from 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. After walking just 300 feet out of camp, you'll now be above 8,000 meters and have entered the death zone, where the lack of oxygen can lead to extreme swelling of the brain. By the time the sun rises, you'll begin traversing a steep ridge, and this is where you get much more exposed to the wind. One climber above me even dropped his big man, which definitely could have lost him some fingers. After working up along the ridge, you'll arrive at the iconic Hillary Step. Many deaths have occurred here due to the technicality, altitude, and even things like cornices completely collapsing beneath climbers. The most dangerous part is just coming up though, a random empty Coke bottle, which will lower your testosterone because of its microplastics. If you manage to survive all of that, you can crawl your way over to the summit and get that Tinder profile picture you've always wanted.
Yeah, for some reason, I just can't see myself climbing Mount Everest to get an Instagram selfie or my Facebook profile picture. No, that's okay. I think I could come up with something a little easier and less risky. What do you guys think? Let's get on to the next video.
You know what I find absolutely adorable? You, if you still think you live on something like that. Or maybe yours looks a little bit more like this, because our friends at NASA says these are both real images taken from satellites. So which one do you live on? In an effort to help you get off this big ball of lies, whichever one you live on, I did something for you. Check it out. I asked the Google machine, what's the best proof that they have that we live on a globe? And it says the overwhelming scientific evidence, including satellite imagery, well, we saw how real and consistent that is. Also, lunar eclipses. Well, lunar eclipses proves we live on a spinning ball, duh, because the shadow cast on the moon during a lunar eclipse is a strong indicator of a spherical shape. Oh yeah? Let's check that out. Here I am with my little home experiment lunar eclipse, and I'm creating a round shadow that looks very similar to the round shadow on the moon that we see. But you know what? Guess what I used to create that round shadow? A square picture frame. Now you tell me how that's evidence that we live on a round Earth creating a round shadow on the moon if I can create a round shadow on a volleyball with a square flat picture frame. Okay, so if I crossed off the evidence of satellite imagery because it looks fake as F, and the lunar eclipse and the whole round shadow on the moon isn't actually evidence. Well, what else do you have, Google? The disappearing of ships, hull first, over the horizon, strongly supports the Earth being a sphere. Okay, let's look into that one. Okay, here's a boat, and we can see it all, and yes, it will disappear bottom up, but what they don't teach you is that's just how the human eye and perspective works. The further something gets away, the lower it gets in your field of vision. And, well, if it was going over a curve, you wouldn't be able to zoom in over the curve because, well, the curve would be in the way of zooming in. And, well, what else you got, Google? Do you understand what I'm saying? If it was actually going out of view because it was going around a curve, you can't zoom in and you can still zoom in. So, therefore, that proof is null and void, like every single other proof that is keeping you glued to that spinning ball, spinning 1,000 miles per hour at its axis and traveling around the sun at 66,600 miles per hour and hurling through the galaxy at 400,000 miles per hour and hurling through the universe at 2 million miles per hour, never to return to the same place twice yet. The belt of Orion is always aligned over the pyramids every single year for thousands of years. So ask yourself, do you really live on this? And why are you stuck to it? Why do you want to live there? Because this other side that I'm on, it's wonderful. I have no fear. I know that God exists and created this lovely place that we live in. Well, it clues you in on the rest of the world's lies too. And you will never be fooled by the liars that lie to you on a daily basis again. In fact, you'll look at them and laugh and say, you hold no power over me anymore, Mr. Congressman, Mr. Politician, Mr. President. I know you're lying. Mr. Elon Musk, I know you're lying. Mr. and Mrs. SpaceX or NASA astronaut, I know you're lying. So you can take your lies and, oh, this is all for entertainment purposes. I know I'm spinning right now. Don't you feel it? entertainment only.
Okay, well, I'm going to ask it again because I haven't really gotten any comments on the last time I asked. So, once again, are you a flat earther or are you a glober? Which one are you? Let's get some comments down and to see where the numbers sit on this one. Me, myself, I'm starting to lean towards flat. And, well, as far as NASA goes, never a straight answer. That's what I've always said. I mean, really, we lost the technology we had to go to the moon. How much sense does that make? How stupid do they think we are? Really? Here's the next video.
They always mention that if oxygen disappeared from the Earth for 5 seconds, all concrete structures would just tumble to the ground because they rely on oxygen to stay rigid. So I've had a lot of people asking me saying, does that mean that if we put concrete in a vacuum chamber, it'll just turn to dust? Well, today we're going to find out. So I'm going to put concrete in the vacuum chamber and see what happens to it. And then after that test, I'll do one more test in the vacuum chamber and see if you actually need air in order for concrete to solidify. So what happens if we have wet concrete and try to let it dry in the vacuum chamber? Will it dry or not? Okay, so I have a concrete brick here. So before I put this concrete in, let's clarify the difference between concrete and cement. So you use cement to make concrete. Basically, you mix cement with sand and that makes concrete. So usually when we just speak, we interchange concrete and cement, but they're actually different things. So I'm using concrete, which is a mixture of cement and sand or some other aggregate. Okay, now is your time to take your guess. What do you think is going to happen? Is this concrete block just going to tumble into dust, or is it just going to stay just like it is, or what's going to happen here? So I want you to comment in the comment section with what you think is going to happen and how sure you are it's going to happen. I know I have my guesses. Okay, solid concrete in a vacuum chamber. Will it crumble to dust? 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're decreasing pressure fast. We're at half an atmosphere now.
Seriously? Seriously? Now I'm going to lose sleep tonight wondering if that concrete block disintegrated or not. Oh my god, does anybody know what happens? Because I really don't like it when they don't finish a video like that. But if anybody knows what happened, let me know. Did that concrete block disintegrate or what? Here's the next video.
Absolute beautiful sight here. And look, and here's where we're going to see the sun hit it as it gets high enough. Absolutely extraordinary. It's like a shooting star in reverse. Now, I want to mention that this Falcon 9 is capable of actually carrying 10 satellites into space. So this thing is massive in its own right. And such a great thing to be watching here. And here we go. Now you see the sun hitting it. Look at that. Really taking off now. My goodness. And now you'll see it continue to shine through the night sky as it hits another thrust set right there. Just see the trail it's leaving behind. Absolutely amazing. And to describe it to you from, and you can see it, but from the ground, it almost looks as though a cloud of smoke with its own mind is just shooting through the sky. This is absolutely incredible. Again, you're watching the SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launch from Vandenberg Air Force Base. This visible from Bakersfield. Absolutely incredible. And at this point, it looks amazing, but at this point, I really couldn't tell you what exactly is happening because space travel isn't exactly my line of expertise. So hold on to this shot for as long as you want, but Dave, Rochelle, when you're ready to take it away, please be my guest.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Bob, I don't know what to believe anymore, so I can't even tell you if that even really happened or not, so I don't know. That's pretty bad when you can't even believe what you're even seeing in front of your eyes, so I don't even know if we've ever even been to space, so anymore, so I don't know. Anyways, yeah, let's get on with the next one.
What was the scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest. It didn't happen. It could have been scary.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened.
I remember my parents waking me up and we went down and we watched you guys land on the moon.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
What?
You watched animation.
This goes out to all the non-believers. Why is the guy who apparently landed on the moon saying that he didn't land on the moon? Why is he going to downplay one of the greatest achievements of this century? And you say we're the ones that are crazy, but you refuse to believe one that apparently has actually been there, saying that no, it's not true, we didn't go there. Who's the crazy one, really? Some people will literally believe anything that's put on a television set. Just take it as gospel truth.
You see, that's exactly what I was just talking about. Never a straight answer to anybody, from anybody going to space or going to space. Here's the next video.
I'm the smartest man alive. I'm a genius. Just admit it. Either that or I'm completely bonkers, or option C, you just don't think, you don't have common sense. It's rare sense. When you move your spoon through coffee, you can make a leaf and the swirls are going two different directions. This is clockwise, this is counterclockwise. Okay, so when you run a straight line, you get two different opposing turning, you get the Coriolis effect. So the sun is doing the same thing. It's creating a line, and so the weather and water on this side go this way. That's why your toilets are spinning counterclockwise in the north hemisphere, and south hemisphere, which is below the equator, it goes clockwise. So the toilets go clockwise here, the toilets go counterclockwise because the sun is doing this straight line from east coast to west coast, East America to West America. So that explains Coriolis effect. It's right there in my book. It doesn't explain it, but it shows it. Common sense. Oh my gosh, I literally must be the smartest man alive, or I'm just nuts.
Okay, my freaky family, we've made it through another excellent video of creepy and paranormal TikToks. Thank you for viewing. I appreciate it so much. You're definitely part of the freaky family. And I'm just going to say, once again, please take 2 seconds, hit that subscribe button. It really helps the channel. And it's free, doesn't cost you anything. It just takes a matter of hitting that button. You know what I'm saying? Show me some love. Show me some love, fam. Anyways, hit that like. Share this video with your friends and family so they can watch it too. And with that being said, until the next video, fam, I'll be watching you. Thank you for joining us at Capital City Paranormalish. Please be sure to hit that bell icon so you get notified when we drop more amazing content. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Till next time.